Help me, Robert the Bruce. You are my only hope.
What's up, YeshGamers? Robert the Bruce here, and today it's all about that hot T21 action. Now, the first question we've got to solve out the gate is, which one is better, the T21 or the T21B? And at first glance, they seem like the same gun, just one of them has a scope. That's actually incorrect, though, so let's sort out the differences. First, we'll see what the T21B does better, and it basically boils down to recoil here. Upwards, left, right, doesn't matter. The T21B has much less recoil than the plain old T21. Now on top of that, the recoil resets faster and it has less spread per shot. Now the T21, on the other hand, has a higher max damage and can fire almost double the amount of shots before overheating. So, which is better then? Well, it boils down to preference. Personally, I prefer the T21B because in my book, this is a weapon built for long-range engagements. It's a great go-to gun for playing Turning Point on Jakku, for example. Lots of longer range firefights will be had, so having the T21B with better recoil management plus the scope just makes more sense to me. Again though, that's just a matter of taste. Now once you've figured out which variant of the weapon you're going to use, then you have to decide how to use it, because you can't just slap it on any old class on any map in any game mode and expect it to do well for you. You know, a fork is a great tool that helps you eat, but you don't go grabbing one on soup night. You got to pick the right tool for the job, and the T21B has a slow rate of fire but does some sick damage. Compare that to something like the E11, and you start to see where the T21 is going to be a rock star versus where it's going to be more like the washed up guy at the corner bar playing Nickelback cover songs. The T21 has way more max damage and way more minimum damage than the E11. So when it's landing shots far away, they are packing a punch and dropping some fools. But it's got a way slower fire rate, can't fire as many shots before overheating, and it kicks a lot more, so it's clearly not as good of an option up close. So, like any halfway decent wine, the next step is to figure out what you should pair it with. As you can see in these clips, one of my favorites is the trusty old jetpack and bowcaster combo. Not only does it give you the ability to do those super annoying but highly effective jumping bowcaster kills, but it also gives you a few other ways to stay alive on the battlefield. Now if you're in close with enemies and know you're about to round a corner to see them, you can charge up the bowcaster and be deadly at close range. Or, if things start getting really hot, and I don't mean that in a good way, you can jetpack out of there, put some distance between you and the baddies, and suddenly your weapon has the advantage again. Now the main thing to remember when setting up a class is don't just pick stuff that you like on its own. Each item is an ingredient. They all add up to be your own recipe, so make sure that recipe is awesome. And not a recipe for something like spaghetti. I don't like spaghetti. I don't trust the way it moves. Anyway, the last thing I'll say about the T21 is this. Take your time. It fires slowly, and you gotta make each shot count. If each shot is counting, it'll drop guys quick and be a trusted weapon system in your arsenal. But if you're treating it like the DH-17 and you're just spam firing all over the place, you'll end up being very good at wounding bad guys before they kill you. Lead your enemies properly, line up those shots well, and use distance to your advantage. If you play it the right way, this gun will not let you down. Now before you say farewell, wear out your mouse on that like button, and then hit me up in the comments with your favorite class setups for the T21 and T21B. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.